Hey guys, as you can see, these are our arms from Hardrace. This is like a whole kit. So this is the front, this is the rear, this is the upper one. This upper one is actually from an MX-5 NC, where we saw some typical failures. But I want to introduce more into the system where we came to the idea why we used it. All our time attack cars are going like 3 or 4 times per year on the alignment or on the alignment stand or alignment system. And we saw that especially the lower front arms and also the upper front arms, they are getting more and more weak because these parts are actually at least 20 years old. And when you really hard use the cars, you use them with really strong bushings, these parts are starting to flex. And we saw it on several cars that when you are using the car hard, that you always have like different alignments after one race. You're hitting 3, 4, 5, 20 times the curb and your steering wheel is like this. So we started to work with Hardrace regarding the arms, and we changed the design of the arms to make it more stiff. So we have like this system. They are not light, I can tell you right away. So when somebody says, oh, how much is this system and how much is my OEM system? Your OEM arms are about, when I measure the whole system, about 3 kilos lighter than the ones which we have from Hardrace. But these things are absolutely stiff. We are using these systems for about now 15,000 kilometer on our ND and for about 7,000 kilometer on our NB. And we used it on Nordschleife, we used it on Hockenheim, we used it on Oschersleben, and we had to do it because all this stuff is TOV approved. So everything is done with the TOV together so that you're absolutely street legal. And we had our car all the time, like 4 or 5 times on the alignment stand with these arms, and we did not see any changes, just the bit ones, like 8 minutes off in the back or 4 minutes off in the front, which is actually perfect. Instead that you see the original ones, which are really flexing. They have like 10 minutes, 15 minutes off even after one race. But there was another thing. I'm using my MX-5 ND a lot of times on Nordschleife. And you have like hard bumps, hard curves. When you're going through the carousel, the whole car is shaking extremely. These parts, this is from MX-5 NC, and actually the one from the ND looks pretty the same. But what we saw, that they are cracking. They are breaking on this part, they are breaking on this edge, especially when you're using them on Nordschleife or on tracks where you have like hard curbs. So we started to change these parts when it comes to, let's say, some safety things. So we changed these parts on our cars to be safe on track. So all the NC and ND customers should definitely change the upper front control arm, because this is definitely a problem when you're using your car hard. And we can drop it into your TOV paper, so you're absolutely street legal when you're coming from England or wherever in the world. I just can tell you this stuff works and it's absolutely great. So yeah, then we have another question. We were asked why we are using on these lower control arms not uniball bushings. We are using rubber bushings. I know a lot of the guys in the States, they are more into the shore game, which means the stiffness of the rubber. We got 95 shore in these rubbers, which is pretty stiff. But we saw when we are using these in pillow balls, we are pulling out the front axles, the mounting points of the arms, because it has to be a bit of flex, actually, not too much. But otherwise it's too much stress to the front lower axle or to the rear axle. So this is the point where we came to the solution. We are using hard rubber, so it can flex a bit, not too much, so we have less stress on the OEM axle. So if you have any more questions, drop it in the comments below. I'm happy to help.